What's up? Don't forget to subscribe, join the Dreams Ps4, and me know if you guys would like to learn more stuff. So, as you can see, the tag is not moving with the ball. And you might come across this if you wanted to make a camera move with a sculpture or something, it might not be moving with it. And there's a reason for that. The main reason is because you don't have the group as movable. So, whenever you tag or link a gadget with a sculpture, and then you press plus over here, it'd be just like this. Then you press the plus button. So if you were to link a tag or a microchip or whatever it is with a sculpture, it's not immediately going to move together. First, what you want to do is press L1 and square on the sculpture and make sure this is not movable. You might want to check your collidability settings, all that great stuff. Then what you want to do is press L1 and square once to where the group settings pop up. You want to make sure this is movable. This will make both the gadget and the sculpture movable at the same time, whereas opposed to the big one, it'd just be making the sculpture movable like so. But if you do it like this, make that not movable and this movable, it moves together. If you did it like this, it wouldn't work. As you can see, it has to have the group settings like that in order for them both to move together. Now you can do this with cameras. You can do this with all sorts of stuff. Basically any type of gadget. And the most useful thing to do it with would be a microchip. And the reason why is because I could effectively just put the tag inside of the microchip, if that makes sense, along with any other logic that I want to put inside of that microchip. Whereas before, what I would do is I would make a whole little puppet. And this was very inconvenient, but it also has its pros and cons, if that makes sense. I'd pull out a puppet, right? And this is a very useful tutorial. Like, you'll use this for just about anything if you're trying to make a game in Dreams Ps4. So subscribe, hit the bell, join the Dreams Ps4 Amino. I'm Yuntex YouTube and Dreams, follow me there. So as before, I would delete all this right here. Then I'd place a ball in there, or whatever you want to place in here. If you wanted to search something in the browser and create, I just make a ball right here, change the color, place it down. And then it would be a puppet, which has its own pros and cons. In that way, I'd have logic following the ball. As you can see back here, this logic would follow the ball, or this logic right here follows the ball, as you can see. But that's entirely inconvenient because, as you can see, you have to do all this other stuff. It has its pros, though, because you can also mess with these settings right here, such as the gravity and stuff like that. So you have to weigh your pros and cons, but it's not like something you would do unless you had to do it to get a outcome that required making the ball into a puppet, if that makes sense. For a game like tennis, you shouldn't need to do this. You can just like pull out a microchip and connect it all that way. And it's probably taxing on the thermometer as well doing it this way. So you have to remember those things and weigh your pros and cons if you're going to do something like this. But this is extremely useful, and as you can see, you wouldn't know this right off of the gate jumping into Dreams, that this is how you get gadgets to move with a object, if that makes sense. So I hope this tutorial helps you guys out. These are the settings that turn off and on visibility, and you press L1 and square to make options like this come up. And if you needed to scope in, you press L1 and X, and that would make the other option pop up. The reason why you scope in is because when you're scoping in, you're trying to see what is linked together with something, and as you can see, the tag is linked with it. So that's why you press L1 and X to see deeper into an object, to see what's really linked with it, which won't be visible from the gate, which is why we scope in like a magnifying glass to see everything that's linked together. If you scope in enough, it'll take you into the mode that creates stuff for that object, which is sculpture mode, or it'd be flack mode or flick mode, or it'd be if it's even for a puppet to do that. Also, it just depends on what limb you're using. So this is how you link gadgets with a object. Subscribe, hit the bell, all that great stuff, and I hope this helps.